China's zero-COVID policy is long over, but COVID isn't. After the crisis in the cities, the virus is spreading to rural China. They're running out of coffins. The Chinese are celebrating the Lunar New Year in hazmat suits. The Wuhan virus has gone out of control in Tibet. Going by one estimate, more than 220,000 people could die in Tibet alone. 220,000 people. They could die in Tibet. And yet the headlines coming out of China paint a completely different picture. They say the cases have peaked, meaning the worst is over. Now, we sincerely hope it is, but we have no way to verify because China is not sharing the numbers. They're busy managing the data, not the Wuhan virus mega wave. It is taking a toll on people. And do you know who's the worst hit? Xi Jinping, the president of China, the man who dreamt of being the most powerful in the world. The man who's arguably the most powerful in China. He is called the chairman of all things. He controls the government, the military, the economy. He cracks down on business tycoons. He reins in dissenters. He even tries to control what people think. This very powerful man, whom global powers could not bring to heel, is losing to a virus. On Vantage tonight, we'll tell you how. We have 5 videos that show how Xi Jinping's policies have wrecked a nation. And before we begin, we would like to advise viewer discretion. The videos and pictures in this story can be disturbing for some of you. Video number 1. This emerged last week. It sums up the crisis in China. Take a look at this. What do you think this is? It looks like a departure board, the kind that you'll see at a train station. But this is not a train station. This is a crematorium in China. And this board is flashing live updates about cremations. It's been installed in a waiting area where families can keep track of the cremations of their loved ones. One cannot even begin to imagine their plight, bidding the final goodbye by staring at a screen. There are 3 status updates on the screen: cremation in progress, cooling down, and completed. And I don't know how to describe this. Dystopian, depressing. Do you know how many Chinese citizens have died in this wave? I'm sure you don't. Beijing refuses to share the numbers, but it cannot hide these pictures. We've got some satellite images. Let me show you a funeral home. This is on the outskirts of Beijing. In the first week of December, it had no parking lot. A few weeks later, there was fresh construction with a large parking space, and even that is proving to be insufficient. Cars are still lined up outside. Reports say crematoriums have been operating 24/7 in China, and the waiting time is now running into weeks. It tells you something about how many people may have died. And the same story is playing out in Tangshan in northern China and Suzhou in eastern China. Packed hospitals, overwhelmed ICUs and helpless patients. The Chinese healthcare system has collapsed. Video number 2, and this one is from Shanghai. Earlier this month, the hospitals there in Shanghai ran out of beds. They had to treat patients in hallways and outside emergency.
The
nightmare is still unfolding, and this is video number 3. Doctors and healthcare workers are miserable. They're sick themselves, but they cannot take a break. A doctor in Zhejiang broke down on duty.
那你不行，你还是要跟院里领导说一下，你要弄个人差不多的。好，谢谢。抽血，然后这边1楼打药。你可以先药打了，然后先去血抽掉，然后边挂边走。
There are many pictures and videos like these. Even the Chinese censors, the great firewall of China, cannot block them. The Wuhan virus has caused so much misery. It is now threatening Xi Jinping's grip on power. The Communist Party is facing a serious challenge from within. Video number 4. Workers in China are revolting. Take a look. These are workers in central China. Why are they angry? Because they were laid off. They worked at a factory that made COVID testing kits. Demand has suddenly dropped because China has ended zero COVID, so people don't need testing kits in large numbers. And this factory sacked its workers. Reports say it refused to pay wages too, hence the protest. When the riot police showed up, the workers pushed back. And this is not a one-off case. The working class in China is up in arms, it seems. In November, the protests got out of hand. These are workers at a Foxconn plant. Foxconn manufactures iPhones for Apple. Apparently, the company had delayed bonus payments to the workers, and that's what triggered the protest. They dismantled barriers. They threw them at officials in hazmat suits. In some regions, workers are putting their lives on the line. Our fifth and final video is from Hunan. Some workers who did not get their wages climbed to the top of a building and threatened suicide. So this is what it has come down to. China is unraveling. Public anger is mounting, and all of this poses a direct threat to the power of the president. And it's not like this virus cannot be contained. The rest of the world has found ways to do it. We found ways to live with the Wuhan virus. But its spread is devastating China because of the incompetence of the state, because of poor policies and mismanagement. Last year, Xi Jinping almost invaded Taiwan. He consolidated power at home. He secured a historic third term as president. But now he faces the biggest challenge of his career, thanks to a homemade virus.